Yeah, whatever, man.
So whatever fucking.
So whatever show.
So whatever show.
So whatever show.
I think we're gonna.
No notes.
Are you recording?
I am recording.
I think we're gonna complain a lot today, and I don't know. Everybody else is.
Oh yeah, no, the tides have turned.
All the Glazers are complaining.
The tides have turned.
Yeah. It's like finally, hey, it's like, welcome to the potty pal.
No. That's Die Hard.
Die Hard. Yeah, go ahead. Welcome to the party, pal. I can't do Bruce Willis.
Welcome to the party, pal.
You can't do Bruce Willis. I think Bruce Willis is just Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like a
he doesn't
like an accent, not like Arnold. But yeah, welcome.
Get you asked to Maz.
Welcome to the party, everybody.
Welcome to the party, Victor.
There you go. That's a good one. Yeah. So I've noticed, you've noticed, and I've noticed that several of the other Helldivers content creators have had some negative things to say about the state of the game recently.
Yeah. Glazers aren't glazing so hard anymore. Glaze is a little thick.
It's a little
thicking those donuts back. Bro, there's too much glaze on these donuts.
This is terrible.
I said nobody ever, but you know.
Yeah. It's a terrible analogy.
The game's a little sweet right now.
It's too much sugar.
Too much sugar.
I got diabetes.
Helldivers, it gives you the diabetes. That's it. There's our tag. There's our thumbnail right there.
Yeah. We're going.
Helldivers equals diabetes. All right.
So this episode, we have no notes.
We haven't even been drinking.
We've just been hanging out.
Been finding leaky.
I was fixing Dutch's Jeep. I have a bone to pick with you though. I'll tell you what.
Because you're a bitch.
No. You don't get to call me that. First of all, subscribe to the channel. Go to saltinerdiscord.com. That's where the community hangs out. We have a wonderful group of people over there, and it just continues to grow. We've got the prodigal son returned. Styx is back.
Yeah.
One of our A-team members just kind of ghosted us, disappeared. We didn't know why.
Well,
didn't say anything.
I haven't approved of this return.
He came back and he's like, look, I had some real shit dealing with. And I was like, yeah, all right. So we brought him back in, but Dutch is like a little salty about that. You're like,
ghost me like that.
It's a lot of betrayals going on lately, huh?
Yeah. There's a lot of weaves and yeah boys shit going on in Discord.
Right now. Dude, that came back with a vengeance this week.
Yeah, that's fine.
We got a new GIF now in the server. Anyway, saltinerdiscord.com, folks. It's a good place to be. No, dude, you freaking listen. We played bots last night.
Okay, listen.
Let's set the stage.
I'm gonna talk. Okay, I've never claimed once in my life to be the world's greatest Helldiver. I am not. I am far from it. In fact, part of my charm and the reason people like me is that I kind of suck and I do a lot of stupid stuff in the game, and I do have the self-awareness of a fence post, and that is just part of how I play the game, dude. So, once in a while,
I can't even look at you right
once in a while, there's going to be some collateral damage, and sometimes that collateral damage is going to take place in a key pivotal moment of the mission.
Yeah.
Like when we have no reinforcements left on a day when the bots were clearly pissed off,
bro,
and kind of broken and just turned up to not just 11, but like 11.59.
It was nonstop.
It was insane.
Yeah. I haven't seen spawns like that probably since the Malevelon Creek days. And I know everybody says that. Oh, I haven't seen a game like that since Malevelon Creek. For real though.
Yeah, no, it was like crazy.
It was nonstop, never-ending, complete chaos on that planet. What planet were we on? Do you remember?
I don't know, just some planet.
Jesus.
I didn't care. I just didn't want to fight gloom bugs, and we did that enough. We did that.
We did a couple weeks. We're almost done with the MO. The MO is just about finished. We got 17 hours left, and we're at like 80. What is that? 86%.
Is that gonna be enough time?
Yeah, right? I think so.
I don't know.
I think we'll make this one. But anyway, yeah, you betrayed me.
I know. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe the game betrayed you because for some reason I threw a thermite at you because you looked a little bit like an automaton.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
My finger just went, no, he has to die. And pushed the button. I
was so mad at you.
Yeah.
Wow. 500K going out, Farsi, to your right. Oh, what? Who threw a freaking thermite at me?
I don't know.
I didn't throw a thermite at me.
What? Bro, we have no reinforcements left.
Farsi threw the thermite at the tank.
God, Farsi,
I
why'd
threw
you
the
do
thermite
that?
at the tank.
Jesus Christ, Farsi, why don't you shouldn't throw stuff at Salty and kill him.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
I had dealt with some wife aggro, right? Just to be there with you, because you texted me at like 10:30. You had already been playing for a while,
Bro, I texted you the day before.
and you were like, "Hey, you still up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, all right." So I dealt with some wife aggro to get going. I jumped in with you. It was complete chaos. We got our ass kicked twice.
Oh, bad.
We finished the mission, but we got our asses kicked twice for
Yeah.
2 missions, and then we went to the 3rd mission, and it was like the last one of the night. I was going out with a bang. I brought my freaking heavy hitting armor. I brought my heavy hitting weaponry. I brought sentries. Like I was freaking taking some.
Yeah.
I was taking a chomp out of these guys, getting a little bit of revenge, feeling good about it. And I did 2 out of the 3 missions I personally completed with the little computer system,
right,
while chaos was happening around me.
Well, none of the rest of us were doing anything. We were just kind of sitting over in the corner watching you play.
Just ragdolling the whole time.
Yeah. So, you know.
I just did that. I get to the last one. I've got all my stuff ready to go. Both my sentries are primed and ready. My 500Ks are stacked with 2 of them ready to go. I'm like, all right, we're going to save these goddamn civilians. And I'm going to. And then as soon as I hit the button, I see sparkles coming out of my back. And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And I just freaking go, meh, and just fell over. And I was like, I was so in like this freaking red zone. Just like go. Like I wasn't even thinking. And I just, I looked at you and you go, oh no.
I'm sorry, dude.
Did I accidentally hit you with a thermite? And I just like steam came out of my ears. I almost threw my controller at the TV. You had me in such a rage.
What I want is my people on my stream to rage quit in the middle of the fucking stream.
It was in the middle. I waited until the game was done.
Play like shit, go to bed.
Always
Love
good
it.
to have another hero on board.
We tried.
Shut up, bitch.
Did we lose? Did we lose Salty? He didn't even say goodbye. Oh, yeah.
Allied destroyer has left
Yeah, it was salty.
squadron.
Yeah.
I
And you
waited
just
until we left.
You just left.
I just left. Because if I stayed, I would have said something mean to you.
So Farsi thought you were mad at her.
I wasn't mad at Farsi. She didn't do anything wrong.
And I text you, really?
I just went to sleep.
Really?
Dude, literally, I'm not joking. I put my fucking phone on silent. I put my controller down and I went straight to bed. I did not do anything else that night. I said, fuck this. And I went and laid down and went to sleep. And I woke up this morning with like 7 text messages and a bunch of messages on Discord. And I was like, I was just mad. I was just really mad, dude. That shit pissed me off so bad.
This isn't really directed at you so much as just it's a comment. I play these games to have fun.
Yeah.
And shit like that's going to happen sometimes. And if you get that mad playing a game, then you did the correct thing. You logged off and you walked away.
Just walk away.
And, I can't play games personally with people who they turn their computer on and they just go into fucking role play LARPer mode. It's like, oh, I'm in the army now. I'm a Helldiver. Okay, Roger. I'm gonna start when I start playing with people like that. I'm gonna just start replying to everything they say by Roger, and I'm gonna go find another mission.
I don't do that. I don't do that.
You get a little intense sometimes.
Well, I'm trying to get the mission done.
I know, but
we were getting our ass kicked so much the other night that I wanted my revenge.
I know.
I wanted to go out on a bang. It just was like, okay. It's up there with the time that I mistook Christ for a man. Yeah, I remember that.
When he was in for a Hulk. And I was like, bam! It's like, oh, I feel like a dumbass now. But yeah, it was one of those moments. It was.
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
I was too much in the zone. So I needed to just put it down.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
And when you get there, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
It's time to
well, it was late. I was tired. I was mad.
Yeah.
And then it just like it was just
I've learned
cherry on top.
I've learned from the streams that I do that there's a line that I get to, and it's around 3 hours played or about 1:30 in the morning.
You do play odd hours
to where I just shut down and I get easily pissed off, and my hands just completely quit working from just not even from arthritis. It's just from tiredness.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm burping into the microphone. But
So let's talk about the state of the game.
yeah, it's not in a good spot.
Well, that's interesting because I've been pretty disconnected from like the news cycle.
Yeah, me too.
Haven't really been paying attention to anything that's been going on internally with Arrowhead or anything like that. I've just, log in once in a while and shoot some stuff. And I have noticed that the bots specifically have been crazy. Although the last couple of weeks have been some of the most cinematic moments I've played in a while. Like on Neville 43, we were in that city landscape with the fog, and there was like Bile Titans walking out of the smog at you. It looked gorgeous. And I was like, man, this freaking thing is awesome. But there's so many internal issues. And one of the biggest ones that I've noticed a lot of people have started finally talking about is the problem with the progression and the MOs. So the last couple of times there's been like quote unquote new content out, either new missions or new enemies types like the incendiary core or something like that. But then the MO tells you to go somewhere else. And then we're like, why'd you release new shit if you're not going to tell us to go fight it? And there's a lot of that happening. The MOs for, I would probably say the majority of the players are completely pointless.
Yeah, I don't care about the MO right now.
Yeah, I don't think you're
we'll go in and we'll do a couple run throughs, do the 3 mission thing. And then after that, I'm just like, okay, we did our part. I'm going to go have fun now. And to me, fighting bugs it's just not fun.
Unless there's a story element to it.
Right.
Because like one of the best story elements was the Meridia TCS tower things. That's all bugs. I had a great time fighting bugs at that moment because there was a purpose behind it.
Bile Titans and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just
like it's not it's not that it's not fun. It's just when there's no point to it, I much prefer to fight bots. I find it more satisfying. So do you. A lot of our squad does.
I really do.
Yeah.
They shoot back.
Yeah, I like that they shoot back. Except for those freaking stubbies. My God.
Oh yeah, they're
those things are nightmare fuel. But it's many people have said it. They need to fix the problem with the MOs. They need to incentivize people to play the storyline. Either incentivize people to play the storyline or don't.
Who's in charge of writing the story?
I don't know. I think it's Joel. Joel's the dungeon master, right?
Is Joel just the one man storyteller?
I'm sure he's got a couple guys.
They don't have
team.
like a story group or a team of people that are like working on the narrative of what's happening and the what and the whys and
I'm sure there's a team involved. Joel, I think, is the one who actually puts rubber to asphalt in the game.
There's so many elements of this game. I mean, do you know anybody that's fights Illuminate at all?
Right? Not anymore. No. When they first it was funny because we're gonna predict the future for Helldivers here in a minute. Yeah. We're gonna map out the entire year. But we were in the same spot that we're in almost right now. Where people were like, yo, what's the freaking point of playing? Like, I have nothing left to do.
Yeah.
As soon as we started saying that, they dropped, half the Illuminate on us during the game awards. And then the player base shot up. Everybody was like, oh my God, the Illuminate are here. They dropped like 2 war bonds. There was a kill zone collaboration. There was all kinds of activity happening all at once. And everybody was super excited. And now that's died down, I don't think anybody fight. I mean, well, you can see right now who's fighting. Well, there's 2,000 people fighting Illuminate right now, currently.
4%, almost 5% of the player base, which is not very much.
It's not very much. Which, I mean, they're not part of the MO, so fine. And most people prefer bots. But the Illuminate, it's just like, it's what, 3 enemy types? 4 enemy types? And that gets redundant and really repetitive after a while. And if there's no story element to drive them to go do it, like we got the Meridia black hole. Yeah, but the story is driving us towards the bug side to fix the Meridia black hole thing. And even that has been dragged out so long that it's like, I'm just ready for it to be over. Like I'm over it. Like what's it going to do? Destroy a couple more planets? Okay.
Yeah, big deal. It really has no effect on anything.
Like the where it's at right now, the inner circle of these planets, we're not even going to ever fight on those planets anyway, because none of the enemies get that close.
Given that the economy of Super Earth is dependent on each planet in the Federation there being able to produce one single thing, and then perhaps when a planet gets obliterated, we should lose access to something to make our lives a little bit harder, give us a little bit more of an incentive.
They do that enough
to complete whatever the mission is. It's just it's like, hey guys, if you don't win this, you're going to lose your Jeep because we won't be able to make the wheels that goes on the Jeep anymore because there's this special kind of rubber that only this planet can produce that we get from the jungles of this planet. You know, just stupid, dumb shit like that. I mean, come on, at least, you know,
it's something.
I guess, but I don't know, man.
I don't know. What do you look? We all know what the solution is. They need to make the MOs more substantial, have more weight to them.
Yeah.
Right now, there's really no reason for us to do anything that they're asking us to do. It's just like, I don't feel like it.
I feel like I should say the obligatory, hey guys, you know, I really love this game.
We all do.
I have so much fun playing this game. I love playing this game with my friends. But the game is at a point in its evolution that if any of our friends like decide I'm going to go play Path of Exile 2 for the next 3 months or whatever, I'm going to go play Tarkov for a while or something, then I'm not going to have a lot of incentive to keep going. And that's how I think a lot of the player base is feeling, is that we're all starting to get kind of just annoyed and pissed off at Arrowhead and its 1 step forward, 2 step back philosophy, which seems to be the way they do things. You know, I'm tired of their fucking excuses of why everything's broken. Fix your shit. I mean, how hard is that to
when
do?
I logged on to Google
Mm-hmm.
first thing this morning when we were talking about what we were going to talk about on the show, the first thing that pops up on my feed is an article from some freaking video game website. It says Helldivers 2 developer Arrowhead is 100% aware that the game's performance ain't that great right now.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Well, you know,
I hope you got something up your sleeve.
I'm 100% aware that I am not that great of a helldiver, but yet I'm still helldiving. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna start being a really good helldiver all of a sudden. I don't know, man. I don't have a lot of faith in their ability to fix stuff anymore. We're gonna have another 67-day plan.
Well, here's what's gonna happen.
I mean,
because this has happened 3 times now since the launch of the game.
It's just a bad.
We're in this slump
cycle, man.
Yeah, we're in this slump right now. We've been in the slump before. They announced that they're gonna do something cool, and then a couple months later, something cool comes out. We're in that point where we're 4 months after the Illuminate dropped. Remember when we were in that slump right before the Illuminate dropped? We were all like, man, there's no point in playing. This is freaking boring, blah, 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 blah. We're all capped out. Yeah, la, 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 la. And then they dropped the Illuminate. And then they dropped like 2 war bonds and all this crazy shit. And everyone's like, whoa, fuck. And then they came right back up and the player base came back and everybody's playing. Everybody's having a great time. And now that's starting to drop back down again.
Everybody's getting bored.
And now they're going to probably drop the second half of the Illuminate at the 1 year anniversary or something.
Yeah.
Or has it been past the 1 year anniversary?
Oh,
it has been.
I believe so,
yeah,
for sure.
And then they're going to freaking straight back up. Everybody's going to be happy for a little while. And then it's going to drop back down right around the time they take vacation in the summer is going to be another slump.
They take another vacation?
They take a vacation every summer.
Yeah, but is it summer there or winter? I don't know. Are they on the same?
In the northern hemisphere.
So,
yeah, they're the same as us.
Look, man. I'm a little. I don't know how it works over there.
They're on the same side of the planet.
Is it the upsides and downsides?
Yeah,
so,
like Australia
so
is.
if it's summer here, then Australia is winter.
Right. Yeah, but they're north.
But Europe's summer because we're summer because
right.
we're on the top of the
planet. Yeah.
Okay. So South America is in winter right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no, they're in fall. They're getting ready for winter.
Because we're in spring.
Because we're in spring.
Okay.
And that's been
weird.
That's been your planetary.
That's weird, man.
Science class, assault divers. Jesus.
Shoot things. Shoot bugs. Let's go.
Anyway, so I think what's probably going to happen if they're forward thinking, they should be getting ready to release something big right before they go on vacation to keep everybody active and playing and happy while they're on vacation. However, every time they put something new into the game, inevitably something breaks. So they have to have a skeleton crew that hangs back and gets ready to okay, you're the fix-it crew. We're going to release this new shit. Inevitably, something's going to be wrong with it.
The new shit's going to break the old shit.
We got to be ready to fix it. We can't just leave
inevitably, by fixing the old stuff that got broken from the new stuff, we're going to break the new stuff.
Yeah.
Somehow. So
when the gloom bugs showed up and they were like, look at the predator strain. They were like, oh, fuck, the predator strain's broken. Just take it out. And they're like, look, we're going to put it back in. It's
Oh,
fine.
look, everybody's just got no arms or legs. Awesome.
Oh, the meatball diver thing. Is that meatball gate? What are we calling
I
that?
don't know. I have no idea.
Dude, yeah. It happens almost every game now.
Yeah.
Or something will happen and all of a sudden you'll just be a torso with a cape running around the map. And I'll just be like, oh, okay, that's what that looks like then. I guess you're just
And I would like to say before everybody we're going to start getting comments here. If we already haven't from this point, it's like, you guys are just negative. You just don't talk about anything good about the game.
we literally glazed the game last week.
And yeah, we do. And I would just like to take a moment to welcome the rest of the official anointed ones in the community of propaganda commanders that have finally seen the light and you know, aren't for some reason afraid to tell it like it is. Because man, I'm noticing a lot of these guys, they're getting kind of annoyed. They're getting kind of pissed off that Arrowhead is not making the correct fixes here. And it's really weird because this is the same company that this last week won multiplayer game of the year.
Yeah.
You know, with the BAFTAs. And you know, they took a bunch of awards earlier in the year when they released the Unlimited. They won like 4 awards or something.
Yeah. Well deserved too.
Yeah, and all well deserved. But it's
You know what they didn't win an award for?
That's the frustrating part, though. It's like we just can't. They just can't get this thing dialed in. And
Right. It's frustrating because we know I think a lot of people understand the potential that this game has. It's like the potential is freaking through the roof.
Yeah.
This game could be incredible. And it is in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But they just keep fumbling. And
But-
I think they're aware of it. Shams mentioned it in his interview. There's articles all over the place. YouTubers are saying it. Everybody says it. So it's not like it's unknown. It's just like, okay, what's the plan? What are we doing? Are we just going to limp along until people lose interest and then Helldivers 3 comes out?
Well, that's the thing.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. How long does the hardcore player base? How much time do they give them before they all?
So there's
move
still
on?
people playing the first game.
Yeah.
So
There's always going to be
there's always going to be
400 people that are just like.
I think this game's probably going to have a like 45,000 people playing right now.
Yeah.
What's the lowest we've ever seen it?
I think
8,000-10,000?
I'm not exactly,
20, depending on PS4 numbers. Because sometimes sometimes the PC numbers and the PS4 numbers they don't always match.
I don't think the companion includes the PS5 people, but maybe it does.
I think we're at the core group. People who are still playing after a year, despite all of the issues, are the ones who are going to play no matter what.
Right.
And that includes us.
Sure.
We log on every week, at least once a week,
Mhm.
if not more, just to kind of hang out and shoot the shit and have a good time. But I'm really rooting for them. I hope they come out with something good. I feel like we're on the cusp of them releasing a new batch of content, and they're going to be like, "Look, guys, new shit," and everybody's going to come running back. But that's not going to matter, though. That's the thing. That's what's frustrating about it. Is like it probably will be somewhat broken, but people are going to be so thirsty for new content and new enemies and new this and new that they're not going to really care if it's a little janky.
I guess
They're going to be like, whatever, fuck it. There's new shit. Let's go. It happens every time. It's happened like 4 or 5 times now at this point. Everybody's like freaking, whatever. I don't care if it's broken. I just want to play. I don't want to play with new shit. Incendiary Core was a great addition. Fantastic. Changes the aspect of fighting bots completely. The Spore enemies, they're kind of reskins. I haven't really noticed a huge difference in them. Have you seen the bug where the little tiny cricket, they don't actually attack you? They just run around next to you. Have you noticed that?
I have not noticed that.
I've noticed that. So if I'm on bug side, the tiny little cricket guys, not the hunters, but like the tiny.
I've gone up to a bug and just kind of like stood there next to it and had a conversation with it.
Yeah, the little.
Like, yo, bud,
there's something broken about the little tiny guys. They'll just follow you around. They don't attack. I think their attack mechanism is broken. It's not working. So he's just kind of like a lost puppy dog, just kind of following you around.
Kind of cool if you could tame it.
Right? Yeah.
Make it your pet.
That'd be awesome.
Go, attack.
Give it a bone. Good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would. So we've talked a million times about what we would want them to do. Is there anything new on your like idea list that you're like,
honestly,
man, I'd love to see this.
You kind of sprung this on me, so I haven't really given it a whole lot of thought. But I would just like to play the game with it being as a clean and polished game as it can be. That's all I want. I don't they don't have to give me anything new in the next couple months. Just fix it. That's all I want. I don't want there to be lag hangups when we drop or when we go back to the ship. I don't want people to, I don't want the game to crash. I don't want to be torso diving. You know, I want the bugs to work and to scale correctly. I'm still convinced last night that those bots there was something wrong. There was just something.
The spawn rates
up.
were insane.
It was
crazy.
It was
like triple the amount of bots that I normally see.
And
kind of had fun with it though.
I mean, it was it is what it was, but it was it is what it was. That's some freaking word salad shit right there. But it is what it was, but it was because it could be. And then it was good. So yeah. Okay.
This podcast brought to you by Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Super Earth president.
We're unburdened by what has been.
But yeah.
Super Earth president. Oh my God. That would make so much sense.
Makes so much. Yeah. I don't know. I want to come in here to the studio every week and talk about this game. And I want to go, man, this ML was awesome.
Right.
We had so much fun playing this ML this week. Didn't care if it was bugs. The story was great.
The story
we accomplished some stuff.
Yeah.
You know, man, that freaking last ditch effort we had on that one defense was just, it was crazy. They were all over the place, but man, we prevailed in the end. Or it's like we got our asses kicked, and it was awesome because we've had those moments.
We have absolutely, yeah.
And but it's just the game just isn't in that spot right now.
Okay, so the MOs need to be faster.
Mm-hmm.
This MO with the black hole that's been going on for months now. It's like, bro, you can't drag a freaking story on that long. It just loses steam. So like, if we're
gonna have 46 chapters to an MO, they need to be like 48-hour operations at the most.
Yeah,
and that means not everybody's gonna get to play every MO, but who cares?
The overall story is what matters.
Right.
And then have some kind of a big statement piece at the end of that story point that actually changes the game for good. Like right now, we got the thing blowing up planets, but I'm like, whatever. Doesn't do anything for me.
There's a million planets on the map. It's like, okay.
I dove with a buddy of ours on the first game. He bought it for me and I downloaded it. It was only like 7-8 gigs, and I dove in. And it's funny seeing, because obviously that game has been out for like 10 years now, and it's been polished, and they've gone over it a million times and fixed whatever issues it has. But it wasn't my type of game because it's top-down view. I'm not really into that. It felt very arcade-ish, which is not bad. It's just different.
Yeah.
But the one thing I noticed was the polish that the stratagems and weapons have in that game is so satisfying because you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I have this gun. This is my favorite gun. But if I spend this sample on it, then I can get this scope, or I can get this magazine, or I can get that. Like, they really need to start adding drips of that into this game.
Yeah.
And be like, look here who I think what is Cloud or Buzz Lightyear? Somebody was talking about like, I want to be able to spend samples on like customized shit, and upgrades and stuff like that. Like, I want to use a sample to get a freaking, one of the.
I want to buy a compressor for my Scorcher gun or something, and
to get more fuel into it,
or whatever.
That's interesting.
Whatever, and so I should be able to go spend like 20,000,
or get some kind of a special upgrade for your flamethrower that shoots an extra freaking 15-20% or something like that.
Something like that,
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that people are thirsty for. It's not necessarily that we need like quote unquote new content.
Make it so that everybody can tweak their dude out the way they want it, to where we're not just a bunch of clones when we go down there if we all have the same stuff. So yeah, for sure. I hear what you're saying.
This is we've talked about this a million times.
Yeah, we have.
Anyway, final thoughts on the state of the game. It's fun, but it could be better, and that's what we're waiting on. The player base is dipping. They put out a survey the other day. One of our friends shared his response to their survey. It was not nice.
Well, have you noticed how Discord all our people are kind of like, I feel like we're letting Fob or whoever it is do the survey, but he's like taking notes from everybody. So they don't get
like a conglomerate.
They get a book.
Yeah, for real.
But it's from like 15 people.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's an aggregate response to their survey.
This is our community's notes.
Yeah.
And this is the shit we think you need to get fixed.
Yep.
So yeah, I like that. It's a good idea.
Yep. Okay, let's do some viewer comments. I've got it pulled up here on our last video. One of the things that we talked about was the board game that is in the works.
Yeah.
And somebody said, let's see, Meanie One In, MENE One In, said, yes, I want to see you guys play the board game in the studio as soon as possible. I definitely plan on buying it for my team. That's awesome.
Well, maybe in
Right on.
2026 when the
Yeah,
game comes
next
out,
year,
we can do something
When
like
we're
that.
dying for new content from Helldivers 2, we'll start playing the game instead. That'll be awesome.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in here that wanted us to play the board games.
Yeah, the board game is super popular. People are very excited about that.
Right on. Yeah, I wasn't really prepared to come in here and do viewer comments and load out of the week and all that kind of stuff. We'll get back to that next week. I just wanted to come in and just kind of have a conversation about our thoughts on the state of the game as it is currently. And I know we're not alone anymore. You know, we've been pounding this drum for quite a while that they need to do better over there. And I think everybody's finally seen the light. The Glazers aren't glazing as hard because, you know, they're finally jumped onto the bus that we've been driving for quite some time. And welcome aboard, everybody.
Yeah.
So
cool.
let's get this game in a good spot. I really hope those guys are listening, and I don't wish the devs or the people at Arrowhead any ill will. We just want to have a fun game to play, and all these bugs and janky quirks in this thing are just, it takes the fun away, man. After a while, and they need to get it together.
Yeah.
Regardless of how many awards they've gotten, that states that, oh, everything's great, we're winning awards. Well, I don't know if that is a statement on how great the game is or how shitty the rest of the industry is. So take that however you want.
Yeah. We got another comment. This is one of my favorite ones from last week. From Alpha Kraken Live.
Alpha Kraken.
He said, this is a quote from Dutch. We know a lot of guys that give you extensive, autistic, detailed notes about everything you need to fix. I know they give it to you anyways. And he says, this is why I love this channel.
True. It's very true.
Because Dutch just says some shit
Hey, man,
that you're like, is he allowed to say that?
like, I don't care. Downs Divers unite. Let's go. For liberty TD.
Oh, man.
Demonetized. All right.
Yeah, lots of people talking about the board game. I'm sorry, like I said, we're flying by the seat of our pants on this one. So this is another one from Larry Knock 3206. Says, you guys are the shit. Always stoked to see a post from you. Thanks, man. Appreciate that, Larry. There was somebody in here who was talking some mad shit. And I wanted to read it because I don't want to just read comments about how awesome we are.
Was it the ones, all the comments about how we got the MO wrong last
Yeah,
week?
that's a good.
Like, no, we didn't.
Like, well, technically it's better because the mechs needed something to get people to use them. Nobody's gonna
I still haven't seen anybody using it.
Nobody's gonna use them.
And especially when it's only used on the DSS planets.
That's another thing too.
Yeah,
We forgot to mention last week. Is like that upgrade only counts on DSS planets.
Big freaking deal.
And nobody freaking uses the DSS.
No.
In fact, most people try to avoid it.
It's like, yeah, it's like, God, do I gotta go to the DSS planet? Do we have to? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yep.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
That's all I gotta say about that. All right. On that note, let's finish this up. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. I do appreciate it. Tune in. We do dive every Monday night on the dot. What would you start, like 9:30?
9:30 on the dot. 9-ish.
9-ish on the dot.
On the dot.
It's a big dot.
It's a big.
So join us on Mondays for Helldiving. The rest of the week we kind of pepper in a couple different games. And if something pops off in the game, we always change the schedule. So if something happens in Helldivers, we might hop in just for fun. But join us. saltinerdiscord.com is the place to be. And we'll see you next week. Stay salty.